against climate change is bad for jobs and growth. Otherwise, Finland wouldn't have just announced that they're going to reduce emissions by 80% by 2050, and the United States wouldn't have committed to reaching its Copenhagen targets. Yesterday, our Prime Minister sadly took his place among world leaders who are failing on climate change. Will the minister now correct the Prime Minister and acknowledge that growing our economy and fighting climate change must be done together?
Mr. Speaker, we are taking a balanced approach. I think most people forget that Canada represents less than 2% of global emissions, while the U.S. produces almost 20%. Canadians need to know, Mr. Speaker, that the coal-fired energy generation in the U.S. produces the greenhouse gas emissions of all the emissions produced in Canada combined. We are pleased the U.S. is following Canada's footsteps, and we continue to build on our record and work with the U.S. to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions internationally, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to do it without a $20 billion carbon tax.
The honourable member for Halifax.
You know, Mr. Speaker, someone once said, don't indulge your theories, think of your children, and listen to experts. That was the Prime Minister, and yet Conservatives are living in climate denial. They're placing ideology ahead of the well-being of Canadians. They have no vision of what Canada could be. We could excel in research and development, in promoting alternative energies, building new industries, leading the way in green technologies. We could be a leader in creating good, sustainable jobs and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So why won't the minister want Canada to be a leader in tomorrow's green energy economy?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Speaker, of course we are a leader. 77% of Canada's electricity comes from non-emitting sources. We are the first major coal user to ban construction of traditional coal-fired electricity generation units. The first 21 years, for example, Mr. Speaker, of our new coal regulations are expected to result in a cumulative reduction in greenhouse gas emissions of 214 megatons, equivalent to removing 2.6 million personal vehicles from the road per year. Our regulations for heavy-duty vehicles will reduce carbon emissions in those vehicles by up to 23%, Mr. Speaker. What does the NDP have to offer?
Exactly.
A carbon tax.
$21
Tax on everything.